Oh God, it sounds horrible.
I don't think I'm gonna make this one, Merlin.
We're not gonna have
There's a podcast called Between Two Slabs. They consume mass media. It seems so sad. It's the great Curator and Merlin. They can't grow pubes, so they gotta wear a merkin. They got no money, so I guess they gotta share. Just two nerds wishing they could grow body hair. Comics, cards, and toys, nothing that would interest you. It's the podcast that nobody listens to.
All right, rise and shine. It's the great Curator party time and Merlin and Merleworld cards. As you can see, Dan is a little under the weather today, but he loves being with his fellow collectors, and he's going to be doing the show. So let's give him a little ease tonight. I'll try to do my best. Dan, don't talk too much like I normally do, but he is doing it, guys. He is ready. He's saved his voice for tonight. So this is a special occasion. And Dan, what do you say? How was your weekend?
I'm a little bit under the weather. I got a little cough, but I've saved my voice all day today to try to power through this podcast for you guys here. But Merlin, I'm going to need you to be even more opinioneid than you usually are.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then if anybody in the comment section, pepper us with questions, please. We need lots of engagement and participation tonight.
Is that really your voice?
Yes, so that I don't have to go on. So that I don't have to go on a 30-minute rant like I usually do. Okay.
So you're not soju doesn't help this?
No, there's no soju this time.
A little soju and lemon.
Just a little.
It's not in that drink right there.
Little lemon juice and water.
Okay, are you hydrating? Keeping yourself hydrated?
Trying, yes.
But he loves the hobby so much, folks, that he decided he was going to host. We called around to see if we could have some guest substitute while he was sick, but unfortunately, no one was ready for it. So he was like, "Damn it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Merlin." So let's do it, guys.
We need to definitely have like a backup host just in case. You know what I mean? So if anybody wants to ever be a backup host, you can apply and be on call. Just
as long as you all know how to set up a live stream at your desk or wherever you are, let me know and I'll hit you up. Okay.
Yes.
And anyway, so Dan, we have one of the people you're trying to get to sub for you tonight was Mr. Minty. Everybody knows Mr. Minty over my left shoulder right here. Right there he is. He has a card prepping kit that Dan, the Curator, is holding. How much is that, Dan?
$50, $49.99.
$49.99.
If you use a coupon, you get a discount.
You get a discount. We have the link below with the password promo code. Use Curator. And you can get this for a nice discount. Looks beautiful. There's all kinds of stuff in the kit. If you also check out his website, link below, it'll show you what's in the kit and how to use the items in the kit. So you can prep that card, and you can get that card from a PSA 8 to a PSA 10 using that trusted
guaranteed. Mr. Minty guarantees the card bump. No, he doesn't. Not really, guys. Okay, but we're joking. But yes,
what he says is trade card care. And let me tell you, I've used the kit before, and I had a Star Wars black refractor. I didn't think I was going to get like the best, like at 8 maybe off this card, and I used the kit. And guess what, folks? Mr. Minty thought it was going to come back in 8. Maybe like if we were super lucky a 9, dude, it came back a 10 using the Mr. Minty card prepping kit. I promise you, folks, it was amazing. I did cartwheels. He couldn't even believe it. I was like, dude, thank you so much.
Definitely. So check him out. He is the main sponsor of the show now, so we want to support him.
Yes.
Mr. Minty, use the discount code Curator to get your discount on this. Okay. All right. What do we have on the agenda today?
Well, on the agenda today, we're going to talk about that Taco Refractor, Dan, and the future of hobby content and promotions.
Yes. We talk about this often, about hobby content and how to stay fresh and entertaining and different ideas. We bounce around each other all the time. We talk about this offline all the time, right?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And I've been talking about like how the hobby is stale right now. Hobby content is stale, and how we need to try different things. So this Taco Fractor promotion that just came out, we briefly mentioned it last week, I think.
Right, we did.
When they made the announcement, they said basically, if you guys don't know, Topps had a Taco Refractor chase card in their Topps baseball set. I think it was
in the baseball for this year.
Update or Bowman Chrome or one of those sets. And they didn't tell anybody what it was. And basically it was a player, and they had like pictures of tacos around the player, and it was numbered out of 5, I believe, something like that. They called it the Taco Fractor. And many people were wondering, what is that? They thought it was lame. They thought it was like how Panini does the animal prints, zebra, or tiger or whatever. They thought that Taco, this is Topps' way of doing that. They had like food cards, like Taco Fractor or whatever, right? But some people were speculating that this was some type of redemption. And obviously it has something to do with tacos, right? Like you have a taco party with the athlete or something like that. So these things were actually going for a lot of money on eBay. Secondary market values on these were like several hundred, if not thousands of dollars. I think one of them went for like $10,000.
What?
Before this announcement was made. One of the top players, right? Anyways, so they make the announcement, and the promotion behind this, it is a redemption. The promotion is if the player on the Taco Fractor steals a base in the World Series, you get a $15,000 gift card to Taco Bell, which is essentially, maybe a year's worth of tacos or something, maybe, something like that, whatever you would spend a Taco Bell.
That's my dream come true, Dan.
Yes. So that was the big announcement, and it was met with mixed reactions. Some people loved the idea. Some people thought it was super lame because they wanted like something else, like a taco party or something like that. But my initial thoughts on it is I knew it was for like a gift card, because it was the same pictures on Taco Bell's menu. The tacos on the card were the same ones that you would see on Taco Bell menu, right? So I knew it was like a redemption for something like that, like lifetime supply of tacos,
right?
Something like that. So that didn't surprise me too much. But overall, I like it. I like the idea. Some people were saying that it's lame. Some people were saying that what if you don't eat tacos, or these cards were going for too much to justify that type of redemption, or some people wanted like to meet the player like they did with the Wimbiana redemption that they had for him and stuff like that. But yes, there could have been better alternatives, or you could have come up with some better idea. But the idea that they came up with, I think, is really cool, right? I think it's really cool, and I think that it's a start to maybe more types of redemptions like this. Okay, and here's where I'm gonna kind of tell you about the overall theme of this, is that don't look at it as if it's just $15,000 gift card to Taco Bell. Look at it as if they are shifting away from the narrative that the card that you have to get is the prize, right? Like with where we are in the hobby right now, where we rip boxes, the prize is the chase card in the set that is worth the most money. But I think that causes a lot of problems, because number one is if you don't get the chase card, then you're upset, you're unhappy. Most of the cards that you're going after are not worth what you're paying for that card. And on the secondary market, that card can kind of go crazy high prices, or can drop a lot and lose value. It's not a very sustainable concept in the hobby, I believe, right? So what they're doing is, what I see them doing is they're shifting away from the narrative that one card is the premier chase card, or several cards are the chase cards of the set because you just want it for the value of it, to here is an attached experience or goal that you can achieve by collecting these cards. and that there's non-monetary value associated with that, right? You're not going to get a $15,000 bounty, but you'll get a $15,000 gift card. You're not going to get an autograph, a Wimbiana that you can sell for whatever you can sell it for, but you'll get a chance to go and meet him and, you know, have a meet and greet with him, right? And I think that this is their way of kind of like shifting away from that to from the traditional way of collecting that has morphed into all about the money to a chasing experiences. Okay. Mm-hmm. And here's where gets really interesting, because if we look outside of the hobby, right, experiences have been a thing that people have valued for the last, 5-10 years. People are valuing experiences more than they're valuing maybe a material good, right? People would rather go on travel and experience, great food or a great show versus getting, spending that money on a nice watch or a nice car or something, right? Experiences have been a thing that a lot of companies and businesses have been trying to provide for people outside of the hobby context for a while. And I think that this is where Fanatics and Topps is kind of looking and shifting. And I think that they can do a lot with it, right? Like the problem with the last 10 years, if we look at what Panini was doing, they were like racking their brains to come up with new innovative type of cards for people to chase, right? Oh man, we have numbered cards, and we have color parallels, then we have
different variations, right?
Variations. Then we ran out of colors, so let's make animal print. Okay. we ran out of
you have like case hits of cards. That don't have a number on it. You
had like giraffe, you had dragon scales, you had panda crap, right?
Zebra, elephant, tiger.
Right? Oh, we ran out of animals, we ran out of colors. Let's make a
color blast.
Right? Let's make a new type of insert. Color blast, downtown.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Which is great, cool stuff, right? Okay, we ran out of those. What do? Let's make auto cards. Okay. That's too hard to do. Let's make sticker autos. Okay, let's put a patch in there. Oh, we can't get game use patches. Let's just use, player worn patches or manufactured patches, right?
Right.
They kept running out of ideas because the whole focus is chasing certain type of cards that are worth money. Mm-hmm. So this is a great way for them to kind of shift off of that and say, okay, here's a taco fractor. It might not be worth, you might not be able to sell it on golden auctions for, 20 grand, but you know what? You can walk into Taco Bell and get a lifetime supply of tacos. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Here's a Wimbiana autograph out of like 99, a green one, whatever that was numbered out of. Mm-hmm. That might be worth a couple $100, but you know what? It could enter you into a raffle to meet him. And then maybe you can win a 1-of-1 at the meet and greet. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah.
So it creates excitement for the new products that are coming out that have these redemptions, and it packages the redemption in a different way rather than just a white piece of cardboard that has a sticker that says you're going to get a redemption that you have to mail in and get it in who knows how long. Now you get an actual card that is the redemption itself, but it's also a cool collectible card, which I talked about this before. I mentioned that the redemption card should actually be a card. So I think they listened to me about this. I did this. You can clip it back in like
but a few months ago.
Christmas time last year.
Last year we did it, talked about it.
I said the card should be a redemption. And I brought up the example of the Simpsons Art to Bart card. You know about that, right?
Oh, of course, yes.
For the viewers that did not watch that episode, go back and watch it. Everything's cataloged, guys, so go back and watch. It's very entertaining. But if you didn't know, back in 1994, I believe,
right,
Skybox had a set of Simpsons, the cartoon, the Simpson cards, and in that set there were redemptions. but the redemption card was an actual card that looked like a lottery ticket. It said, congratulations, it's your lucky day. It's a beautiful card, has Bart Simpson on it. You just won this rare sketch card, and you had the option to either redeem the card or not redeem it and just keep the card itself.
Yeah, I think the card's even Mr. Minty Blue.
Yes, yeah. So beautiful
color.
Beautiful card. And the redemption was like out of 500. It's a sketch card by Matt Groening. Beautiful card also. But today, those like the sketch cards are worth a lot of money. And they're worth like 10 grand each. But
and there's probably not 500 out there.
Probably not. Probably not.
Or they're probably still in, or the redemption cards are still in packs.
So
like what happens if someone buys it and they pull that card? Do they get
here's the thing.
Okay.
The redemption card itself is an actual card, and the redemption card itself is worth like 5 grand. A graded PSA 10 of that's worth like 5 grand because it's a great card.
More than that.
Yeah, it looks like a regular, it looks like a designer card. It's not a it's something with just a sticker on it. So anyways, I think that they are bringing that back now in terms of giving us an actual card, but the card has a associated value with that. And now that I'm talking about this, I just realized that the value, the attached value to that card is kind of similar to the idea and concept of NFTs from a year ago.
Yeah.
Right. So NFTs, remember that, guys? Remember the crazy NFT days where people said, oh, here's my NFT. And it's a picture of whatever, a Bored Ape or whatever it is. And people were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for those things. That was a total cash grab. But anyways, the actual execution of NFTs was really flawed and stupid, in my opinion. I made a whole video about it. Go check that out, guys.
Okay.
But the idea of an NFT is interesting. And the whole concept was this NFT is not just a digital picture that you get to keep in your digital wallet, but some of them do have associated values with them. Like for Gary V, he made V-Friends NFTs, and those V-Friend NFTs get you a ticket to his VCon or whatever, right? An experience, basically a benefit or an attached experience to that NFT. But the problem is NFTs is really lame. Nobody wants any digital thing. People want physical collectibles. So that's why that whole market bombed. And a lot of them didn't even have associated values, to be honest.
And you think it'll stay that way, or do you think NFTs will ever come back?
They'll come back in a different form.
Okay.
They'll the concept makes sense. The concept of an NFT, think of the NFT as like a credit card with perks, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you have an American Express credit card, you have the physical card, but online you get all these different type of perks. You get discounts, you get preferred, preferred status for airlines and hotels and things like that. You get access to the Centurion Club. It's essentially what the concept of an NFT is, but you also have a physical card with that. So I think that's what this is. That's what I'm seeing here. You get the physical card, but associated with this card, you get a really cool perk and experience with that. And if you never cash in on the experience, or if you open a product later on in life, years where the redemption is expired, you still have the actual card, which looks pretty cool, So that's the concept that I'm seeing here. And I like it. I think there's way more that they can do to improve on it. But these little tiny steps in this direction is definitely refreshing and definitely something that I'm excited to see grow. And, with the hobby does not change very much. Like in terms of how they do business, it's been the same way. Look at card shows, for example, right? Mm-hmm. The hobby does not change that often. It's a very straightforward, simple business model, but to see them trying these new things is really exciting to me. So I think that's pretty cool. But here's where we're going to have a little bit of fun. Okay. We're going to speculate, come up with brainstorming, come up with ideas on how they can improve on this concept. What other type of redemptions can they do that would make people go crazy and wild and make it really fun to rip and collect this product? And then after this, guys, we're gonna segue into how hobby content can evolve a little bit, because I had been talking about this too, and I've got some ideas I want to share with you guys. And again, I see a lot of comments here, so we will get to your comments at the end of the show. But if you guys have any pressing comments, just give us a super chat sticker, and then we will highlight it right away for you guys. If not, we will get to it towards the end. Okay?
Yes, the super chat sticker will get you right into the front of the Fast Pass, and we will answer your question right away, folks.
So before we get into the fun part of brainstorming and speculating about what other type of ideas, do you have any thoughts do you want to add to this?
No, I mean, it'd be great to have stuff like that. I mean, like you said, the Bart Simpson card from 30 years ago, even the one that didn't get redeemed is still worth a lot of money, as much as the Bart card is. And I do have a question, though. If you redeem that card for tacos, do you get to keep the card, or do they take the card away from you? Because I want the tacos and the card.
There's like fine print on the back of the card, but I would assume that you keep it.
Okay, I hope so.
I would assume you keep it, but
I don't know if you get to keep the Bart card back then. I don't think you did.
No, you had to mail it in.
Yeah, you had to mail it in. Okay,
that's why the redemption card itself is almost as rare as the actual.
That's right.
Sketch.
See, now you had to do things by snail mail back in those days. Now it is everything is online. You can just put in the code. Steve, Mr. Minty just texted me and said, make sure everyone knows the discount is still 25% off.
Well, there you go, guys. Mr. Minty, I guess he's too lazy, or he can't figure out how to change the code. So try to take advantage, guys. 25% off this kit. That's a great deal for all the products that you get in here. There are competitors out there that make similar products, but they don't give you all the tools in here. This is definitely the most comprehensive kit out there that I know of. So
can you smell it, Dan, or is your nose stopped up?
Well, no, I can smell it, but
it smells really good.
I've opened this bag, so the scent has kind of like walked away. And I did confirm. I did confront him on that. I said, do you lace this with something? Like, why does it smell? Why does it smell minty fresh when you open it? He says he does put a scent in there. He does put a little something in there to make it smell good. So take advantage, guys. 25% off the Mr. Minty kit. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I mean, I would love to have more things like that, like redemptions and everything. It makes it a little more fun, or the chase more fun.
Okay, so I've got a couple ideas. I know. Okay, I'm not joking when I tell you guys this.
And we're talking about, is this about content creation now? Or
no,
what?
no. We're still talking about redemption.
To the redemption card.
We're still talking about redemption there. I'm not joking when I tell you that there are people from Fanatics and Tops that watch our show. I know, for example.
What?
Because I have heard secondhand, I have seen ideas be implemented, things that we've talked about. So I know that they're watching here. Okay, so I'm about to give them some free marketing ideas. Okay,
I don't know. Maybe you should put some copyright disclaimers on at the beginning now.
I should charge them.
To say, is your part of your property.
I should charge them for this, because this is like
property.
$1 million advice. You know what I mean?
Like, I know, Dan.
Like, if you pay, like, these companies, these big corporations, they pay marketing firms, advertising firms to go in there, consultants to go in there and tell them, hey, you should do this, you should do that, right? I should be a hobby consultant. That's the way that I want to.
Man,
that needs to be my new business that I'm going to start. I'm going to start a consulting firm in the hobby where I just give people great ideas on how to improve themselves.
Everything.
Yes. So I know that they're watching, so I'm going to give them some free nuggets of knowledge here. Okay. All right. So we know that they can do an athlete meet and greet, right? You get a card. So they've done that. Now they've proven the concept that they can do a gift card for Taco Bell. Okay. So now that the Taco Bell gift card is out there, okay, the problem when they say gift card, it sounds a little bit lame. You know what I mean? It sounds like those contests where you win a lifetime supply of Budweiser beer or a lifetime supply of whatever product. it's kind of lame. You know what I mean? It's lame. So I think that they need to change it. Still, they need to reframe it in a way where it becomes a flex. You know what I mean? So instead of saying instead of telling your friends, yeah, I want a $15,000 gift card to Taco Bell. Okay, who cares, right? Who's going to eat that much Taco Bell? Whatever. Instead of saying that it's a gift card, say that it is an exclusive status within Taco Bell. So the same way that people have like credit cards that give you exclusive status, like American Express, right? An American Express Black Card gets you private concierge service, gets you into Centurion Lounge, whatever. The Taco Refractor gets you elite taco status within Taco Bell, meaning that you can go in there and you can show them your Taco Bell elite status card, and they give you VIP treatment. They're like, whatever you want, sir, on the house, whatever you want. So you can go into Taco Bell with your group of friends, right? And you take out your Taco Refractor and you put it on the counter, and they say, oh, don't worry, guys, it's on me. Anything you want, it's on me. In fact, everybody in the restaurant, tacos on me.
I don't know. Have you seen my Taco Bell? It's kind of scary if I did that.
So that's what they need to frame it as. Don't say it's a $15,000 gift card. Tell them it's an elite status. For 1 year, you get unlimited tacos. You can put restrictions on it. You can say no more than 10 tacos per visit per day, whatever it is, right? But basically, give people something that they can flex to their friends, okay? I pulled this card. I got the coveted Taco Refractor that gives me Taco Bell gold status, or elite status at Taco Bell. That's one thing that they can do. They can reframe it. The next thing is not everybody eats tacos, believe it or not. So you know what? Do partnerships with other brands that would love this type of exposure. Go to McDonald's, and have unlimited fries or something like that, or like a fry club, a fry status club. Go to Starbucks
or retail.
Go to Starbucks and get, a year supply of latte. Get like elite Starbucks status that you can use. Dunkin' Donuts, for people love donuts, right? Anything like that. A car, you could do like Ford or Chevy or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Whatever their budget is, if it's $15,000 or $20,000, just repackage it in terms of some type of elite status membership that they get, and then partner with whatever company that wants to do a partnership with that. And I'm sure all the companies would do that. If you had that with I'm sure you can't really do it with like alcoholic companies, because kids rip product and stuff. But you can do all sorts of stuff, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Target, whatever, right? You can do that kind of stuff. So so my first idea is basically reframe it to be like an elite status. Second idea is branch out into different types of food products, because everybody loves that stuff. Basically, pizza, coffee, burgers, that kind of stuff. Chick-fil-A. Oh my God, chicken fingers? You kidding me? You get elite chicken status, the elite chicken finger status at Chick-fil-A, and you can have whatever you want.
The chicken fingers? You don't eat the sandwich?
I actually now that you brought this up, I'm just gonna say this. Okay. I actually don't like Chick-fil-A. I don't like it. I've tried it a couple times. I'm not a fan.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not a fan.
I grew up with that, Dan.
So it's not my thing. Chick-fil-A is not my thing. But
Do you like Krispy Kreme?
I like Krispy Kreme. I just don't eat it. I
know.
I don't eat a lot of
junk stuff anymore at our age, dude.
Stuff like that. But Krispy Kreme is good. In-N-Out Burger, something like that. They could have some kind of crazy promotion like that, right?
Yes. Well, it's something more national.
Movie theaters.
Not In-N-Outs yet.
You could do like AMC. You get a free movie a week.
Oh, that'd be nice. That would definitely help the theater.
Or free popcorn, something like that, right?
Agree.
So you can definitely branch out into other type of food products, and it would be cool. It'd be cool to have like a latte refractor or a donut refractor or whatever it is, and have that stuff.
Refractor. Ooh, nice.
So that would be my second idea.
We're gonna see the stuff next week after you said it.
I would Bet it. I believe it. Believe it. Okay. Another easy thing they could do is they had the thing where like the athlete would follow you on social media, which I personally think that's kind of lame because you don't even know if like these athletes actually manage their social media accounts.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And then like they could add you and they could probably like unfollow you just as quick. But stuff like that, you could have
follow
like,
you.
You could have like the athlete call you, right? You get to arrange it where the athlete calls you and talks to you and does like a cameo, basically a cameo appearance for you, or a video call or something like that. That could be another cool type of redemption that they have. If you want to talk about experiences, like you could get a ticket to a Super Bowl or the World Series or NBA Finals, right? Go into like a suite and bring like
or Comic-Con, or if it's for non-sports.
Yeah, Comic-Con, movie premieres, things like that. You know what would be really awesome? You know how Michael Rubin had his own card in Allen Winter, right? Mm-hmm. He had his own card, he had an auto, and apparently it's not even that expensive, but like they're rare to find. But Michael Rubin is known for throwing lavish parties. In fact, a couple months ago, he made the news for throwing this all-white attire party at his mansion in like Miami or something like that.
People love doing white parties in Miami.
So if you pulled the Michael Rubin party redemption card, I got to be careful about how I phrase this, but if you pull the Michael Rubin party redemption card, you get to go to his party, right? You get to go hang out and
in my white linen. Yeah, hey, South Beach.
So that would be another idea. So they could do a lot of cool stuff like that. And I think that they're on the right track with that. You know what I mean? And I hope that the cards themselves will look cool, but I think that I think the play there is basically you get more value for the card than whatever the card actually sells for on the secondary market. Because that's the problem, like with a lot of these chase cards. You pull, anything other than the 1-of-1 or like a top athlete out of 5, they're not worth anything. You know what I mean? They're not worth anything. And then if you buy it on the secondary market, the likelihood is that it's going to go down in value, or it's going to be difficult for you to sell at that same price later on. So I think by making these chase cards, having fun experiences tied to it, that people would be more willing to use that experience and get value from the experience. And then the card is just like a memory. It's just like a physical representation of the memory that they had from that experience, rather than that card being something that they paid a lot of money for. You know what I mean? That may or may not be worth the same amount of money in the future. You know what I mean? Like we collect, like if some people collect like a 1-of-1, right? If you collect 1-of-1 of, let's just say Victor Wembanyama 1-of-1, you pull that card and you feel great about it, but if he doesn't pan out, maybe that card's not worth whatever you paid for it. Okay, if you won it at auction or something like that, or if more 1-of-1s come out in the future, or the hobby market tanks and the value just isn't what it is, you don't feel as bad for paying a lot of money for it.
Right.
A couple years ago, people were paying for like RPAs, like flawless RPAs of like Luka and Zion and all these other guys. And I remember like those were selling for like over $100,000, some of them more than that. And then they tried to resell them a year later, and the value went dramatically down.
A lot down, yes.
Something like that. Like that's what we want to prevent. We want to shift the focus away from these cards being worth a lot of money and actually retaining the value to the idea is to have an experience chasing the card, and then having this experience finding the card and redeeming the card. And then after that, the card is just a representation of that memory. You know what I mean? Then people won't get so pissed off when they can't sell their card for whatever they paid for it. You know what I mean? Any ideas that you have?
No, I mean, like events, like meeting someone, the food promotions, retail promotions. Like if they do, whoever gets the wrestling, if Tops gets wrestling, they could do like go to WrestleMania or to any events for that too, and meet that superstar.
I see somebody wrote in comics here, free Fanatics gear for your favorite team. So that reminds me of something else. These cards, this is kind of going beyond an actual redemption, but I think cards should be worth points, just like a credit card, right? If you have a credit card and you spend the credit card, you buy stuff with it, you have points that you can redeem for certain things. And they kind of have that where if you buy things on their website, you can redeem it for products or stuff like that. But the system doesn't really work well because nobody buys anything directly off of the website because you just can't get product off of there, or it's product that nobody wants. But I remember when I was a kid, I loved collecting G.I. Joes. And when you buy a G.I. Joe, on the back of the packaging, there was a little point. They call them flag points. And you could cut out the flag point and you could send it in. They had a catalog. You could send it in and you could get exclusive toys by redeeming the points. The cards could be the same thing, right? We buy cards, and this kind of goes back to my my conversation I had a couple months ago about making base cards cool again, and how we should be able to build sets and redeem them.
And redeem them for something special.
So an alternative idea to that would be just if you have a lot of cards, you can redeem the cards for something. You know what I mean? No matter what card it is, or if you buy boxes, you can get points or something like that. But being able to redeem cards as points, like the credit card system, I think that's a great idea. You know what I mean? For every one card that you have, that equals like, I don't know, 5 cents, 10 cents of $1, right? And then you could redeem it. You could bring those cards into like an LCS, have the LCS process it, and then you get something credit for it or something like that, or online catalog or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the cards are going to need like a serial number or a QR code or a barcode, so it has its own personal, DNA. So once you use it, you can't use it again.
I would go even farther than that. I would.
Oh, really?
What I would do, like, I mean, I wouldn't even go that technical with it. I would, because they have a buyback program. They had, like, Topps did the buyback program with, like, I forget what players. I know Aaron Judge was one of them, and then somebody else. But basically, you bring in a rookie card, you can get credit, you get instant cash, basically, right? So they already proved this concept. They tested this concept out where people could go into their LCS, redeem a card for cash, essentially.
Ooh.
So I think that they should go further than that. And I think that we should have a great purge, a great reset on junk cards. Basically,
yeah, I agree.
Like, how many people have shoe boxes full of cards? Hundreds, if not thousands of cards, raw cards that are dollar cards that nobody wants, right? Nobody wants it, whatever, right? Bring those cards into the LCS and have the LCS recycle them. Okay. Meaning that they shred the cards. They shred them. Okay. If they want to resell them, they can resell them. But most likely they should just shred the cards so that the cards cannot be redeemed again or whatever it is. Something like that. Either the LCS will process it and sell it themselves. Like Burbank does that all the time, right? Burbank takes hundreds of thousands of raw cards and they process it really quickly. They turn around and sell it. But if you don't want to do that, shred the cards. Just shred it. Nobody's going to care. Okay. Shred the cards.
Make more cards out of them.
Recycle them. Right. And then give a credit towards the hobby shop. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be by cards. It could be by weight of the cards, maybe, if you want to make it easy, something like that. But I think that we need to have a purge because there are way too many cards out there. There are way too many cards out there. Let's have a great purge.
There always have been.
Let's have a great purge of all the junk cards out there, and you can redeem that for something else. And that could be another way they could do a fun redemption on things like that. So anyways, those are my ideas. I think the overall summary here, basically, I like the idea of the taco fractor. I like the effort that they're putting in. I think they can definitely improve it. I think they can build off of this and do other things to make it more fun to collect and give us different reasons to collect rather than just trying to have something that's worth a lot of money, you know? Mm-hmm. And I hope the last thing I'll say about this, and then you can add whatever you want.
Okay.
Is I feel like I hope some people learned their lesson with the amount of money that they were spending on these tackle fractors. Like for somebody who spent $10,000 on the tackle fractor, I think it's Ronald Acuna or somebody like that, right? I think we need to learn, we need to use that as an example that not every insert should be worth a lot of money. There should be a different value associated with that. You know what I mean? Like it can be worth $15,000 worth of tacos, but it should not be worth $15,000 worth of cash. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think we need to just shift the focus away from money and flipping and how much return can we get from this onto something else that is equally valuable to us. You know what I mean?
I do.
So anyways, okay. So shifting from that real quick here, I want to shift into the topic of hobby content and how I think that hobby content is changing and some ideas that I've had. But real quick.
I know you tell me every single week, Dan, you're saying, look at this, Merlin, look at this.
This makes me
what's that?
I just reminded myself of what I did this weekend. Like I was talking about like the experience, like shifting your mind from chasing money, right? Like in the hobby, the mindset is you go to a card show and you either sell or buy or flip cards. And your experience, unless you're like a real hardcore collector, your experience is revolves around how much money you can make, right? Or what type of investment or what type of card you can get that gives you the best return on investment. Okay. And that's good sometimes, that's fun sometimes, and that's good, and that has a place. But I also think that there's value in finding cool stuff at a bargain and just having fun, you know, buying something and having, like, if you go buy something for like $10, you can get $10 worth of entertainment from that experience. You know what I mean? Like if you go to a movie and you're paying $20 for a movie ticket, you know, you're probably going to get $20 of entertainment value from that. You know what I mean?
Let's hope so.
Yeah. If you go to a restaurant and you spend $50 at a restaurant when you could have cooked the food at home, you're going because you're paying for $50 worth of an experience.
Right? Atmosphere, right.
And I was reminded of this when I went over the weekend. I went to an antique flea market to just go vintage toy shopping, hunting. Okay. And I had not been to one of these in a long time, since pre-pandemic time. So before, little known fact about me, before I got back into the hobby, I used to love to go to antique flea markets, and I'm really into antiques, like all sorts of antiques. It could be anything.
When was this? Like 10 years ago?
This is I would say like 10 years, like from 2013 up until pandemic 2000.
This is something you got into after college.
Yes, because I used to watch shows like American Pickers, Pawn Stars.
Right. And that got you intrigued.
Yeah, that got me interested in like antiques and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I used to go to antique flea markets and I would buy antiques or toys, and I would turn around and flip them, or I keep them, right, for whatever, you know. I enjoy
flip them like on eBay.
Just Facebook Marketplace. Up.
Wow.
It's easy, dude. You can make a lot of money.
That's for a separate video you need to make now, Dan.
Yeah. Basically, I honed my skills flipping that kind of stuff.
That's where you get it from. Okay.
Into the card hobby, and it was easy transition to me. Okay. But
the origins of the great curator.
Yeah. But the hobby is much easier. Let me tell you, the hobby is much, much easier
than antiques.
Than antique.
Really?
Yes, because with antique hunting, it's like you got to be out there in the field. A lot of times it's outside, so it's hot. Like this weekend was super hot, and you got to deal with all sorts of other people that are doing the same thing. You know, that there's no comps with antiques.
So like, what certain niche were you into? Because I mean, you only like study and do research on just certain antiques. Or was it all furniture? Was it plates?
Furniture,
glassware?
Yeah, furniture and decor items.
Gotcha.
Just like cool stuff. I'm trying to look around to see if I can show you something. An example. Well, okay, I'll show you.
So you just got on the internet and started studying about it?
It's from watching the show. It's from watching American Pickers.
You start picking it up. Okay.
Yeah. So I would see the stuff that they would buy, and then they would turn around and sell it. And I was like, okay, let me go look for that kind of stuff. But mostly toys and furniture and toys, because that's kind of like the stuff that I'm into. Let me fix my focus here. Okay. Anyways, I went to the Long Beach Antique Flea Market this weekend, and I was able to buy a ton of toys. A ton of like vintage toys. I bought this bag. I posted some content on this today, but I bought this bag of G.I. Joe Legos. They're called Creo, but they're basically Legos for $5. And in there was like 23 figures that I can turn around and sell for $100. Easy.
Dang, easy. Mr. Flipper here.
Yeah. So, that was it's like a rush to try to find these things and then find value in it. And then turn around, and if you sell it, you sell it. If not, you have a really cool.
Is it primarily why you do it, for the rush?
It's fun. Yeah, I just like it. It's a hobby for me to kind of do that. I found this dude that had case fresh X-Men figures from the 90s. Let me pull one out to show you. Look at this. You don't find this kind of stuff case fresh. Okay, these are
yes, I remember those.
Yeah, these are, what is this, 1994? I think. I can't see the date.
I was in college. Yes, I was collecting toys back then.
1991. This is 1991. X-Men figures, Toy Biz. I remember going to Target and hunting these things down as a kid. And
you did even then?
Oh yeah. Oh
my goodness!
I've been doing this.
It was in your blood.
I'm no rookie. Okay, I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Wow,
but, dude! Like, to find these today, most of the time, like, they are peeling off the bubble is peeling off the card
from the glue.
Most of them are bent and creased up, water damage. A lot of them are yellow on the plastic. But this dude had cases of these rare X-Men cards, and I got them for a steal. I got this for like $10.
It looks like it just came off the shelf too.
Yeah, great condition. And you know what? Here's my tip for you guys. Here's the tip for you guys who are watching right now. 35 people in the chat. Let me tell you. Okay,
tell us.
These things are still even in okay condition or really good condition. They're still affordable. They're not going to be like $200 for one of these. Okay, but here's the thing.
What?
These things are going to be worth a lot of money. That's my prediction. When people,
so even after 30 years, it's not worth that much, but you think after 30 years plus,
this is the time.
Worth something.
This is the time when all the 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds back then, just like me, that were buying these. Now we're in our 40s. We have money. And we're going to want to buy these things again. And here's the opportunity. Nobody's grading these things. Okay. People are grading G.I. Joe. People are grading Transformers, Star Wars. They're grading all sorts of wrestling figures from the 80s, from the 70s and 80s. But not many people have started grading the 90s figures yet. Okay. So we're reaching that cycle where these things are going to be worth money to certain people, and those people with the money, they're going to want the best condition ones, just like in cards, just like in comics. So the toy companies, when they start grading this stuff and people start looking these things up on eBay and stuff like that, they're going to be worth a lot of money. Okay, but we're not there yet. We're probably still
what are you waiting for?
1 to 2 years out. I would say 1 to 2 years out before you start seeing graded versions of these out there.
Oh wow.
Anyways. So the point is, like, I had a great time. I only spent like $100 at the flea market, and I got all these cool things, and I had great time. And when can you say that about like going to a card show, right? If you go to like a card show, can you spend $100 there and really say that you had a great time in the current environment that we have? It's hard, it's hard to say that you can do that unless you're buying $100 cards, which most people are not interested in, for the reasons that we're
$100 cards.
Yeah. Or like $10 cards or something like that. But for the reasons that we're talking about, how the focus in the hobby is all about how much money you can make, you don't really have that type of experience,
Right.
So I think that this is what is important about these redemptions and shifting the focus away from return on investment to return on the experience. If we can shift the mindset of the hobby away from how much money can I make buying this card to how much fun can I have buying this card, how much value can I get in return for the money that I give to it versus how much money I can make from reselling this card at some point. Right. I think that is the next level of the hobby where we need to get to, right? And if we can get to that, then all the other stuff kind of falls in place, right? If people are paying money for an experience, then everybody that's involved, that's selling that experience, they're going to make a lot of money. Okay. And I'll give you another example and then I'll get into the hobby content. Sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but I feel it. I feel like the ideas are coming out of my head into the microphone through the internet to you guys. Okay. And this is good stuff. All right.
I think Dan's feeling better, folks.
Okay.
Well, I spoke too soon.
If what was I going to say here? Oh man, I lost my train of thought.
Oh my God, no.
I had a really good thing. Hold on, give me a second here.
Oh gosh, you're on a roll, dude.
Give me a second. Let me just show you this real quick here. I got this Ronald McDonald 1970s toy at the flea market. $4.
That's hilarious.
$4 for this. I'm going to sell
this. Is that
for
you or for your daughter?
No, she would tear this apart. It's too fragile. It's too fragile. But it reminds me of like one of those carnival dolls that you would throw the softball at, if you know what I'm talking about. They look
the ones that you threw the softball and it flips back.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. I got it for $4, guys. I'll sell this for $20 easy. Somebody would pay me $20 for this.
I made one of those in home ec.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's kind of like folk art or something like that. I forget what they call it, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of amateurish, but it looks really cool. Anyways, okay. So here's what I'm saying. Okay. Here's the example that I want to use. I just remember here. Okay. What example can you think of where a company or an industry offers you an experience and people just hand over money without question for this experience? What comes to your mind?
Like concerts?
Concerts would be a great one.
Okay.
Concerts would be a great one. The one that came to mind for me is Disneyland.
Gotcha. If you pay for the park.
When's the last time, maybe not you, but maybe when's the last time anybody's ever been to Disneyland? Okay. You go there and if
you go every week.
I do go a lot because my daughter loves it. And
right. You live so close by.
I'm the type of guy where wherever I go and I see money exchanging hands, I look and I pay attention because I'm interested in it. Why are these people paying so much money? How much does it cost to run this place? How much money are they making? I think that way. I analyze things because I'm business oriented and I want to like learn from these people. So every time I go to Disneyland, I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God, people are paying for, people are buying popcorn buckets for like $20, $25.
Oh yeah, we know friends that do that, right?
Or souvenir popcorn buckets that change.
I know.
That change every month.
That's crazy.
People are buying droids for $100 for a 10-minute, 15-minute experience of building a droid. I did it. Okay. It cost me over $100. Yes. People are paying to make lightsabers. Okay. For the experience of making a lightsaber for 10 minutes. And they're paying $200 and it's fully booked all day long. Like you have to make reservations to get in there, right? People are paying for all this stuff at Disneyland for cheap crap. Let me look around to see if I can give you let me show you an example of something, okay? Okay, so I told you I made the droid, right? Here is the droid.
I remember all that.
Here's the droid I made. It's
a black R2-D2.
Yeah, it's a remote control. It's cool. If you were to buy this, it's probably like I don't know, $40, $50 if you were to buy it, like a toy. But I paid I forget how much I paid, like over $100 for the experience of making this. And the experience lasted like less than 15 minutes to do this.
Really?
Yes. But I gladly paid it. Right. And when I left the Droid Depot, I didn't think to myself, well, I have this now, so I'm going to turn around and sell it for $150 or $100 or whatever I pay for it. I don't think that way. I just left it and I was like, wow, that was awesome. That was so cool that I was able to build my own droid, and now I have it as a cool souvenir, right? That is the secret sauce that the hobby needs to tap into. Same thing when you go to Comic-Con. You go to any Comic-Con, you don't go in there thinking, okay, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to flip this, I'm going to make my money, I'm going to pay for my trip, whatever. You go in there, you just give your money. Okay, I'm going to buy a comic. I'm going to buy a little plastic toy. I'm going to buy a t-shirt. I'm going to buy a poster. I'm going to stand in line for 2 hours and get a free item.
I'm going to buy like stuff for my cosplay costume.
Yes, right? Like people are handing over money for the experience of whatever they get in return. That's what the hobby needs to figure out. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there are ways to do it. I'm not going to I already have some ideas, but I'm not going to give it away because I want Tops and Fanatics to hire me as a consultant to give them this information. But there are ways that it can be done. And card shows also need to tap into this. Okay. Card shows, like these card shows that are struggling to bring in traffic and make money, they need to figure this out where how can we offer an experience for people to come there and they don't care about whether they're making money or not. They want to go there for the experience, just like a Comic-Con, just like a Disneyland, whatever, and gladly pay money to the people that are there, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, anything you want to add before we move on?
No, that's it. I can't wait. This sounds a lot of fun. Man, I need to get a popcorn bucket and R2-D2.
Even movie theaters are doing the popcorn bucket thing now, right?
Oh, they are?
Oh, yeah. The movie theaters like AMC.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And popcorn buckets are like just a cheap piece of plastic. Probably cost them like $2 to make, but people are paying like $30 to $50 for these popcorn buckets, which is crazy. But they're awesome. They look awesome. You know, they just.
But they're like interactive or they light up, correct?
Some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. Anyways, okay. So this leads me to my next topic, and then we will kind of wrap this up. And we'll get to the comments for you guys here. Thank you for everybody who's patiently been waiting. So this leads me to my next transition topic, which is hobby content. I've been talking about this for the last several weeks. It seems like several months probably about how I feel like hobby content is a little bit stale. You know, it's a lot. Everybody's copying each other in terms of the type of content that's out there.
You've been telling me every day, Dan.
It's not. Some of it is entertaining.
You're
a lot of it is not. A lot of it is not, to be honest, in my opinion. Okay.
But why do you think they do it?
Say that again.
Why do you think they do it? Like copy it? Because it works.
Well, this is another topic, another conversation that we have to have sometime. But
okay,
like, why do people make content? Why do you and me make content? Right. Why does everybody else out there make content?
To share your knowledge or whatever. Yes.
No, I don't think that's it at all. I think it's
show and tell.
It's mainly to be engaged in the hobby, to engage with the community. But for a lot of people out there, it's for some type of monetized opportunity that they're looking for. Okay. You and me included. It's no secret. We have a sponsor right here, Mr. Minty. He pays us. Mr. Minty, 25% off, guys. Use code Curator down below.
Link down below the description, folks.
Minty. Okay, so best card prep kit is in the hobby right here. Okay, so anyways, no secret. He pays us. He sponsors us for us to mention him. So that's why we do things like this, right? That's why we have a podcast and we make content so that we can monetize it somehow, and then we can turn that into how we interact in the hobby. You know, that's part of it. So a lot of people out there are like this. All the people that consider themselves content creators in the hobby, it could be anybody. It could be Mojo, Roth Cards, Dr. Collectible, Jeff Wilson, anybody out there, me, you, all our friends. There's people in the chat that are like that, right? Sports Card Dad and all those guys, right? They all do it to monetize their content somehow, to make money. That's the main goal. Okay, that's the main goal. We all start off doing it for fun, but it gets to be so time consuming, and so much effort goes into it that at some point you have to start to monetize to really make it worthwhile for your time. Okay, so that's why we do it. But the problem is that I see is that a lot of people, they copy each other. They copy what works. You know what I mean? Whether it's doing a video of a card and then superimposing your tiny little face on it and telling the story of the card, or whether it's doing basically a staged promo about whatever thing that you're showing off, like what the auction houses do, like Ken Golden does that all the time, or making internet memes like the way that I do, or Lameme James does, or doing skits, funny skits. I used to do that. I don't really do that anymore, but like some people do funny skits and things like that.
Gotcha.
Or they have a podcast like me and you, or whatever it is, right? Everybody has, it seems like there's like only so many ways that we can package and make our content, that a lot of people are doing the same thing. When something works, people will copy it. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's cool, but it's like, it's not, it's too stale, and it's not going to get us to that next level. You know what I mean? It's not. And I can see how some of these things can start to get to be too much, like some of the type of content that's out there can be a little bit too much to take in sometimes. And if it becomes stale, then people just stop paying attention. Right. And then when people, the worst thing is when a content creator can't get the attention that they want, they start to be more outrageous with their content, right? They start to do things just to try to get clicks, like those guys, like the people that make videos talking shit about people, the so-called watchdogs, the trolls. I call them the hobby trolls. They do that
hobby trolls.
Yeah, they can't come up with original, entertaining, positive content, so they go to salacious, provocative type of content. They get to that, right? Or you'll see people do just like crazy stuff, like spend a lot of money just to get views, kind of like what Mr. Beast does. Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast, his type of content has been ramping up so dramatically over the last year, 2 years, where, I mean, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world for sure, and he makes a lot of money, but his stuff is just so outrageous. Like here's $100,000 that I'm going to give away to a stranger. I'm going to buy this $1 million house and I'm going to blow it up. He just like does crazy stuff like that. So
for real? That's what his
that's his gimmick. His gimmick is just outrageous, like unlimited money just thrown at things just to try to get views and clicks and things like that, right?
Like, what did he blow up at first? Like a G.I. Joe?
I don't know what he did.
Progressed.
He used to play video games.
Mansions? Okay.
He used to play video games and stream himself, and then he used to do things like he used to go on like a really long road trip across the country. He used to count to like 1 million. Just like little stupid things, right? But then when he got a little bit
like
more
Johnny
money,
Knoxville and throw it away.
Yeah, like Jackass, like
Jackass,
like Jackass guys, right? They used to,
but more bling.
They used to hit each other with a stun gun, and then they went from that to jumping into a crocodile infested lake or something, right?
You just rode a bull once and got a concussion.
You take it to the next level, because when you're making content, you can only do it so many times where it gets boring, but then you try to step it up and do something else. But you're doing the same type of content, but just on a bigger scale, right? And I think that we see that we're seeing that in the hobby to an extent with some of these things. So, anyways, I feel like there needs to be a different way for us to kind of make content that's engaging, that's positive, that's not over the top in the hobby. And I think I figured it out. Okay. But I'm not gonna spill the beans, because I don't want people to copy us yet. I don't want people to copy us yet. Okay. But when they see it, when they start to see a change, I guarantee you people will copy it. All right. Some people are already doing that right now. Like, I'm not going to say that I came up with these ideas, these changes myself. You might see other people out there trying to implement it, but I think I figured it out because I was racking my brain the last couple of weeks about what we're going to do to kind of take it to the next level ourselves, but still stay true to what we do, because the type of content that we make, I want it to be relatable. You know what I mean? To an extent, to whoever's like in our same demographic, I want it to be relatable to them. I don't want to say I've got, like, I don't want, I say this now, but if they actually did it, who knows if I would do it, but like, I don't want like Whatnot to say, okay, Dan, here's $50,000, go spend it at a card show and see what you can get, and then sell it on Whatnot, because they've done that in the past. Okay. That's not relatable to most people. Most people don't get a blank check for 50 grand. You know what I mean? I don't want to do something like that. I probably would do it if they offered me the money, but
of course you would.
I would do it in a different way. I would do it in a different way, but something like that. Like,
if trouble swallowing my drink on that one, man. I was
like if I don't know, like I want it to be relatable to most people, and I think that's why people watch our content, because it's somewhat relatable. You got two middle-aged men who are in the hobby, who just like to joke around and have fun and do all the stuff that we do. So we have a certain demographic that likes us, and I don't want to necessarily veer away from that, because that's just not who we are. You know what I mean? So anyways, I do have some ideas that I'm going to start implementing over the next few weeks, and then you guys will start to see. Hopefully you guys can see subtle changes, and we'll see if the feedback is good. We'll continue to make this type of content in a different style. If the feedback is shit, then we'll change it up. You know what I mean? But I think I figured out where the focus needs to be for you and me, Merlin. I've talked about this off camera with you. We're shifting our focus away from what we're doing right now to something else. Okay. That's not to say that this podcast is going to end or anything like that. No, this podcast is the foundation of what we do, but we're going to make a couple little tweaks where I think that you guys are going to have fun. You kind of saw it a couple of weeks ago where we did the live show, the in-person podcast. We're going to be doing that a little bit more. We just have to coordinate it, because me and Merlin do live about like an hour and a half away from each other, so we have to coordinate that. But you're going to see some consistency with the in-person podcast and the other things that we do. And I think it's going to take a few months for us to kind of figure this out, but going into next year, I think it's going to be a really fun year for what we have planned. Because last year, if you guys remember from our content, last year we were traveling. We were like gypsies. We were a traveling circus. I know. Now I know what it
feels like to be a salesman going, all around town, the city.
Every month we go somewhere to some show. Maybe once a month, maybe it's twice a month, but every month we go to a different show. Last year, this year we changed it up, where we only went to select shows. I think we only went to like 6 shows this year.
Not that many, no.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm kind of getting bored of that, because I want to kind of go back out there and experience the shows. I feel like I'm missing out a little bit.
I bet you're missing that high as well.
Like last week was Nashville, so we missed that. This week I think is Chantilly.
Oh, we have to go to Nashville sometime. That's my birth town.
Yeah. So next year we will be going on the road a little bit more if Merlin can get his health in order. We will definitely be going on the road a little bit more, but we will be implementing some new things. And as hopefully, we can get some more sponsors, and that will help fund some of these projects. But I myself am personally investing in some better equipment. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we invested in 1080p. Hey, that's the same one I have, I think.
I know. Yeah. Ooh,
yeah. Nice one, so man. we have new mics.
Nice mic.
We got new cameras. We got better definition 1080p software, better lighting. So we're going to be doing that to give you better production value, but we're also going to be packaging it in a different way.
We're going total AI, folks.
Yes. And the whole purpose of this is just to continue to be entertaining for everybody, and just kind of differentiate ourselves from all the other content creators in the hobby space. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying just to be a little bit different from everybody else so that I don't blend in and that I can continue to entertain and just have fun with the hobby. Any thoughts you want to add?
Definitely,
to that?
Dan. I mean, to evolve requires change. And if we have to change in order to evolve, to grow into something, better. You can't just stay the same, stay on the same level. Otherwise it just, becomes one note and it's over with.
Yes, that is
the people who have success are the people who keep changing, like bands. The ones that do more change sound better. They experiment, try new things out.
Yeah, that is definitely a great way to put it, because the hobby is constantly changing. It's changing right now. We spent the first 30 minutes talking about how the hobby is changing right now. So one of my here's I don't know if this is like a nightmare or phobia or whatever, but when I'm at card shows and I look at some of the OGs there at the card shows, like the guys that have been doing this for a long time, I look at them and, no offense to them, but I just think to myself, am I going to end up like that? Am I going to be like that old timer that has outdated? I shouldn't say this, but am I going to be that old timer that's selling that kind of stuff when all the young kids are going to be walking around with different type of things, and doing business in a different way? Am I going to be like that guy? Am I going to be like the guy that falls asleep at his table because, he's not getting enough action, or, what it is, like
what kind of action? He may have had too much action the night before. You don't know.
I don't want the hobby to necessarily pass me by, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right, but there should be some more mature men who are still collecting the vintage cards, but there should be some that change or keep up with the current stuff.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, it has nothing to do with vintage cards or something, but I saw a dude at a card show. This was a while ago. Okay, but this is still in this time frame. He had a box of cards out, and he had a Beckett magazine, a physical Beckett magazine.
They still make them?
And yes, they do.
It's a current one?
They do. And he said, well, I don't know if it was current. It didn't look current, but he said prices according to Beckett Guide. So he was expecting people to open the Beckett Guide, the physical Beckett Guide, and look up the card to get pricing. That's what I'm saying. Like, the hobby had passed that dude by. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. That's a hell of an example. Definitely.
So I don't want to be like that in terms of the content creation. I don't want to be doing the same old type of content, because that's what we mainly do now. Like, we're content creators within this space. More than anything, we're content creators. And I don't want to be out of touch. You know what I mean?
It's like my parents writing checks at the grocery store because they're too paranoid to use their credit card. Their card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, identity theft, And I'm like, well, you're going to be more thief's going to take their checks over your, PIN number.
Right. Or like when you try to,
embarrassing. Like
people don't take Venmo or Zelle or.
They're like, I'm not going to get there. I'm never going to get to that point.
Yeah. So that's for what I want for our content. I want our content to be relevant, fresh, and I'm trying to be like on the forefront of creativity. That's what I really pride my content on, is being creative. So I want to be out there trying new things and trying to find ways to entertain people and be fresh. And
understand.
So that's the whole point of this segment here, guys, is that we're going to be trying out some new stuff. I finally figured it out of what direction that we want to go. And we're going to be trying some new things out, and I think it's going to be cool. Hopefully it's cool. If not, we'll scrap it and we'll do something else. Okay. But we'll see, guys. Okay. Anything you want to add to that before we get to comments?
No, but I think you put that very well.
Okay. Anything you want to show off before comments?
No, Dan, I don't have anything to show off today. Well, I just say a little note here. I did get this fixed. I had this this came back 1998, but this photo is from 1988. So I just did the PSA, and it's a type 1 photo, but it's pretty cool. Run DMC. So I know a lot of people have been wanting that photo that watched the show. So let y'all know that it finally came back corrected. Bingo.
Awesome. Okay, let's get to some comments here. Okay.
Okay. Woo. Carlos, Rise and Shine Curator Army, get ready for another great show. Thank you, Carlos. He's always starting it off. Zup Chili, hello. He's always second now. Mark the Collector, I feel like he's third. Mark the Collector, happy Tuesday, party people. Thank you, Mark. Vintage Lord Canada, again, it's that time again. Yes, it is. Andrew, good evening, Dan and Merlin. Good evening, Andrew. Tommy Hawk, it's showtime. Wow, love that face. Papa Jim, love that face too. Woohoo! Hello, gents. It's Taco Tuesday Refractor time. Hope you both are doing well. So, do you have the taco? Carlos, thanks for making it, Dan.
The taco refractor? No, I don't have one, but I kind of want one.
But this Papa Jim.
Oh,
I can see him owning it. Carlos, thanks for making it, Dan. Power Collectibles. Will you guys touch on more and more shows popping up and it not working out?
Yeah, I mean, we always do a review of the shows that we go to. We just haven't gone to a show, an outside show in a while. We went to Brea a couple of weeks ago, but that's just local.
Yeah.
We already are signed up for the Pasadena front card. What is it called? Front row cards.
Front row card show.
Front row card shows in Pasadena. That's like in the third week of
around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, third week of November. Oh, also, I don't know. Have you decided if you're going to go to Dallas? I'm not going to able to.
I haven't decided yet. I'm going to talk to Mr. Minty.
But I have made or I shouldn't say I have, but my wife has made plans. We are going to be going back to Asia later on this year at the end of the year. So we're going to be going to Japan. So I'll be able to make more Japanese content, card hobby content, because I did that last time and that was a blast. And then we're going to be going to Thailand. So that's what's, there's not too many shows for us on the books this year. The show season really starts for us in January. So that's when we'll start making more videos, and hopefully we can make some more vlogs and do reviews of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Then hopefully one day we can make a show where we're traveling all over the world to conventions and stuff.
That's the next thing, guys. We're going to, we are going to manifest this. Okay. Cards Unknown is going to happen. Between Two Slabs. No, Cards Unknown brought to you by Between Two Slabs.
That's right.
Sponsored by Fanatics or whoever it is. Okay.
Exactly.
We are going to
Netflix, Amazon, whoever we can get.
Yes, we are going to manifest
Apple TV,
this, guys.
Apple Plus.
We're going to talk about it every week. Okay. And I want you guys to mention it so that it gets in the hobby ether world out there, and then hopefully we can find a producer that will pick us up, and then we can do the pilot for you guys. But it's going to happen. Okay.
Adrian, CV Sports Cards. What's up, dudes? What's up, buddy? Papa Jim. Oh, no. Really hope you feel better and get your voice back, Dan. Wonder if your wife is happy about your voice. Hello. Probably. She probably is, Jim. Andrew, hope you feel better, Dan. Thanks for coming out tonight. Yes, it is. Thanks, Dan, for doing very well. Holding up, dude. Carlos, I can eat more than $15,000 worth of tacos a year. That's a Taco Bell, not the healthiest meal to eat for a year.
Can we do the math on this? Okay, let's just say, how much is a taco? How much is the cheapest taco?
We're at Taco Bell?
Yeah, 79 cents.
No, not at Taco Bell. It's like $4 or $5 now.
No, don't.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, look it up. Somebody look it up. Okay, I'm going to look this up because that is an outrageous.
It's not 79 cents.
That is an outrageous statement that a taco, taco.
Oh, maybe because I'm getting a Supreme.
Because you're Ubering Eats It. That's probably what's happening.
Oh, shut up! No, I am not.
All right. Let me see.
Call me out. Thanks a lot, dude.
Taco Bell menu. The cheapest taco on there that you can get is spicy potato soft taco for $1.
There you go.
That's not a real taco. Let's say looks like the cheapest is $1.79. Okay, $1.79.
Almost $2.
Okay, so 15,000 divided by, let's just say $2 tax. Okay. So that's 7,500 tacos that you can buy with that. Let's just divide that by 52. Okay, 52 weeks. All right, 52 weeks out of the year. So that is 144 tacos per week. Okay, per week. So
I don't think I'd be able to sit in this chair anymore if I ate that many tacos.
Divide that by 7. So you could get 20 tacos for $15,000. You could get 20 tacos per day. Okay. Let me just, and now that we're on this, let me
have 4 meals, like 4 or 5 tacos.
20 tacos. Each taco is 180 calories. So let's just say that this person that redeems this has a family of 4. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just say a family of 4. So so if you're going to feed your family, let's just say at dinner time, okay, each person gets 5 tacos. That's reasonable. That's 180 calories. So you get 900 calories. That's a good meal, right? 5 tacos. And then, you get like free water. You get a free water. They don't have to pay for that. And then you get like hot sauce and stuff. Yeah, I think
the hot sauces are free.
Yeah, I think the math works out. Every day you eat 5 tacos every day. The math works out on that. I think it's good. Okay. Interesting.
Boy, I think there'll be a lot of bloated people. City by the Bay, you guys going to San Francisco show in November? Probably not, man.
No, I don't think so. I've said this many times. I love the promoters out there. The guys that run that show. But I'm scared to go up the Bay Area, to be honest. It's a crazy lawless area. And my brothers live up there too. My brothers live in San Jose, but I'm just not going to go out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, that began our madness of traveling across country when we did that last one maybe 2 years ago.
Maybe next year. I just think the Bay Area needs to calm down a little bit, figure out this car breaking problem, because that's my worst nightmare. I'm bringing my cards up there and I park my car somewhere and they see a big black Zion case and they break it and they grab it because it looks like something that you would put like photography equipment in or something like that. So like they probably think it's a camera, or they pull it out and it's a bunch of cards and they don't know what these cards are. They probably throw it away and it could be like $20,000-$30,000 worth of cards or something like that, So that's my worst nightmare. I can't risk it. I can't risk the biscuit.
Risk the biscuit. Papa Jim, the taco cards need to be scratched and sniffed. What other scratch ones could they make? Then you'll have people standing in the aisles of Walmart sniffing packs. That's the last thing I need to see, Papa Jim.
Sometimes, have you ever seen videos of people that weigh packs? They bring a portable scale to like Target and Walmart and they weigh the boxes and packs and stuff like that. It's crazy.
That's creepy weird.
And they have broken. I'm not in person, but I've seen videos of them doing it. And I just think it's like, I think it's pathetic, to be honest. I think grown men that are weighing packs or boxes, I think it's pathetic. But it's not just cards. It's also like toys. Like there's blind box toys and and Legos too. People will weigh these things and they have like printed out sheets that tell you what figure you're looking for and how much it weighs. So you can pretty much kind of find it that way. I just think it's pathetic. I think those people need to kind of reevaluate their decisions in life on how they're trying to make money by doing that kind of stuff. I did see one time. I won't say this. I won't. It's too sad to talk about. But I have seen somebody doing something similar like that one time, and it was just really kind of sad, to be honest.
City by the Bay. Dan, can you tell them to lower their prices for boxes? Thanks.
Yeah, well, I've got a direct line to Michael Rubin, so I'll send him a text. I'll be like, Ruby, lower the prices 10%, please.
Carlos, Dan dropped the golden nugget last year. And what's he referring to?
When I was talking about the redemption stuff. Redemption stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yes. What do we have next? Carlos, how about extreme experience? Bat boy or ball for a game?
Yeah. Yes.
You could do that.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a ball boy at a baseball game so bad. But I just
try out.
I don't know how back then you could not like.
Are you still trying out?
You couldn't look things up on Google, So
that's right.
I don't know how you had to like know somebody to get in there or something like that. But something like that, or like fantasy baseball camp would be really cool. Like you get a trip to fantasy baseball or something like that. And you know, like it could apply to like, it doesn't have to be just like baseball or sports. It can apply to like, you know, Star Wars. Like you get tickets to Star Wars Celebration. You know, they have the Star Wars license. They have WWE, so they get tickets to WrestleMania or something like that. You know, so there's all sorts of verticals that they can do to really capitalize.
Royal Rumble, anything. The Sports Card Professor 7 enjoying the stream and the chat. Thank you so much. City by the Bay, why do we never see commercials or ads for Panini promoting their different sets? That's a great question. Why not, Dan?
So interesting. Okay. Well, let me tell you this. When they got WWE products, I saw
some
Prism commercials on Monday Night Raw. I've seen it. Not every episode, but I did see it when it first came out.
I did see a couple too myself.
So I think
that was it.
Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of these companies don't put much thought into promotion. You know what I mean? And I say this from a little bit of experience because we've talked to certain companies, we've talked to certain representatives or people in charge of marketing, advertising, because they contact us to do promotions for them. And, I try to like pick their brain a little bit. And I just feel like the hobby we take it for granted in the hobby that everything is the way it is, right? You make a product, you're going to sell it no matter what, right? It's almost automatic because people in the hobby are so degenerate with our collecting that we buy everything. Everything sells out, to an extent, right? And with the breakers, basically, if you don't buy it at retail, like if you don't buy it direct from the website or from the distributor, the breakers are going to buy all the products, right? That's just what it is. And because they can go through it. They can burn through product really quick. The stuff at the retail, will be out there until it goes on clearance or somebody buys it up. So the product moves no matter what. So I just think like they don't have to do a lot of advertising, but at some point they should, you know what I mean? They should try to advertise. And when they try to do it, I don't think that they really understand how to do it. You know what I mean? I feel like I
feel like this day and age, everybody kind of knows how to do it.
They do, like, it just doesn't seem like they put a lot of effort in it, number one. And then number two, I don't think that when they do try to put an effort, either they don't have the budget to do something really creative or they don't know what to do. Okay.
Or they just feel like, it's like too much overhead.
No, I don't think it's overhead because these companies have money, but
they don't want to spend it on it. They
don't value the return on their investment. So, for example, okay, let's just say Topps, for example, okay? Topps has presumably millions of dollars of resources that they could throw at something, but they might say, okay, here's our marketing budget. We'll give you $10,000 for a marketing budget, okay, for this marketing campaign. $10,000, that's not going to go very far depending on how big. Like for $10,000, the best thing you could do is maybe pay a couple influencers to make content for you. That's how you could probably do it. But you're not going to be able to do anything professional. You're not going to be able to make a commercial or anything like that. You're not going to be able to buy a spot on TV or anything like that, right? But they might say, the advertising is only worth $10,000 to us. Whereas if they want to throw a party, like if they want to throw like a VIP party, they could spend like $50,000. Like some of the people that were building the booths at the National, Cardfather was telling me some of those booths cost like $50,000 or more.
Yeah, but they were pretty exquisite this time. Around.
So they'll value that type of marketing and they'll put the money behind that, but they might not value social media marketing or TV marketing or something. So they don't want to put the money towards that. You know what I mean? So it just kind of depends. I feel like
they can spread it out through content creators.
Yes, they could do that, but a lot of content creators, but it's not good. It's not good stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
And like the content creators, even myself included, we are focused on a market that's already established. Whereas when you advertise or you market, you're trying to get different people to come in. You know what I mean? And outside of our bubble that we live in, it's hard to attract those people unless you spend the money and go outside of the normal things that we have in the hobby now. And this kind of goes back to the topic we were talking about earlier, how hobby content right now is stale because it's all within our current bubble. We need to go outside of that if we want to bring more eyes to the hobby, to the products. Okay, let me go through this here.
Okay. Great question. City by the Bay, I agree, Dan. It's overrated.
I forget what he's talking about there. Maybe
I know. I was going to ask you.
Refractor or something. I don't know.
The Taco Refractor, Don is? Okay. Mark the Collector. Taco Bell is connected with KFC and Pizza Hut so they can do an elite pyramid card. LOL.
Yes.
A part of what?
I feel like Long John Silver's is part of that too. Do you know Long John Silver's?
Oh, are you kidding me? I love the extra crumbs. Love the chicken flakes. And I love the malt vinegar. But where is one in the LA area? There used to be one Rosecrans off of the 405, and it was shared with A&W root beer, but they closed it down several years ago. And my friends and I used to drive over there just to get extra crumbs.
I don't know. I haven't seen one in a while, but I know they're still
you got to tell me.
But what I love there the most is the Hush Puppies. Hush Puppies.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just loved all that malt vinegar. Carlos, batting practice with your favorite team, 20 to 30 swings. Sounds good.
That would be real cool.
Mr. Minty, great ideas. Thank you, Mr. Minty. Mr. Minty, the elite status is great. City by the Bay, if you pull that ultra rare Secret Society card.
So
like the taco card.
So he's talking about the status with the redemption. So here's another thing about how people in our society value things today. Okay, this is American culture. I feel like within our culture right now, we value status above a lot of things. What type of status? What type of exclusive VIP benefits can we get? And I'll bring up the example that I brought up earlier about American Express. So I got American Express cards this year, and it's expensive. It's like $699 annual fee. And a big selling point to me was, I get to have lounge access to the Centurion Lounge, which is an upgraded version of a regular lounge because they give you free food and all this stuff. And I was looking at the pictures and I was like, ooh, that looks cool. And we travel a lot, right, for card shows and stuff. So I was like, I could use this. I could use this. It could be exclusive. I don't have to, be with the common people. And so I got it, right? And I go into the Centurion Lounge and sometimes it's okay, but most of the time it's full. It is packed with people that you can't even get a seat, to the point.
Really?
To the point that American Express had to change their benefits, saying that you can no longer bring in guests to the Centurion Lounge because it's just too packed and people were getting pissed.
Jeez.
And I was thinking to myself, like, that was the selling point, right? We get a credit card, we pay a huge annual fee for the exclusive status of being able to go to this lounge and feeling like we're better than all these other people outside the lounge, right? That's what it is. Because we love status. Same thing with like Disneyland. Have you ever heard of the Club 100, I think it's called?
Yes.
Club 100. Like, to get into that club, you have to pay like $100,000 fee to get in there, plus an annual fee of like, I don't know how much it is. $20,000.
When did you pay for this?
I'm not in it. There's like a waiting list. There's a waiting list, but you get to go in the exclusive club at Disneyland where you get cocktails and food and stuff like that. And the only reason you would do that is to feel like you're better than all the other common people. You know, the way that MJF calls them. I'm going to use this. This is MJF's catchphrase, so don't get pissed off at me when I say this. But the poors, you got to be better than the poors. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
So that's why they do it. Did you know that San Francisco Giants have an exclusive club at their stadium? It's called the Gotham Club. Same thing. You pay like this annual fee to get into this exclusive club inside San Francisco Giants Stadium. You get cocktails and stuff like that. But is it worth this? Is it worth the annual fee? Probably not, except you're paying for the status. You know what I mean? So you just want to be better. We want to be better than everybody else. We want to be better than all the common folk. So if they had like an exclusive Tops club, Tops Black club or something like that, Black exclusive elite status, all the names that you can think of, put it all on one type of card. And then that card allows you to go into like a VIP party at the National, or if you ever go to Topps headquarters, you can go in there and redeem it for something. You know what I mean? But people love status. So that's what I'm saying. So they can play on the idea of creating elite status, and then people will be all over that for sure.
Who we got next here? City by the Bay again. Yo, Merlin, how about our girl Jade? Speaking of Jade Cargill, she about to blow up in the WWE. Oh, yes, she is. Good thing you still have her cards. You were kind of bummed about it when I saw you at the Burbank show. And but now you should do pretty good, though. I mean, she's already looks like she's going to have a feud with Charlotte.
I hope. I know they're going to put her over, but I hope that they don't job Charlotte out to her, you know? It should be a big feud, like a mega feud.
It should be, yeah. I mean, she should be someone experienced to give her, you know, the training that she needs, though, too, with the technique. HKY Cardboard. Cool Cats heading to the Toronto Expo this year in a few weeks. Oh, that's in November as well. Nice. Are you the Cool Cat?
I'm going through these comments. So give me a second.
I thought Dan had got frozen. That belly collects to goat, not afraid to get spicy. I hear you, brother. Carlos, Dan is calling it again like type 1 photos. Uh-oh. Is that the voice?
I'm telling you.
That's the antique store
voice
from 30 years ago.
I can predict things out about 1 year. One to 2 years, I can predict things out.
Uh-oh. City by the Bay. Dan's shooting straight from the hip. Yes, he is. Bounce it right in there. Mr. Minty. Card Party, hands down, the best show. What's Card Party, Dan?
I don't know.
Mr. Minty. All our show is. Vintage Lord Canada, OnlyFans. That's our other show that Dan and I do as well. Retro Hoop Collectibles. What's up, Merle? What's up, Ivar? How you doing, brother? Good to hear from you. Hope to see you soon as well. This is the 4th time in the last couple of days I've heard about content creators in the hobby talking about going in a new direction on their content. How about you, Ivar? Are you doing the same thing? Check out his YouTube on Retro Hoops Collectibles. City by the Bay. Dan is better creative booker than Tony Khan. Uh-oh, yeah. I'm a little worried about it last week. I know Dan should start a league as well. Maybe he can help with the NWA with Billy Corrigan and Freddie Prinze Jr. How about Dan? Would you be?
I would totally be an investor. I would totally invest in that.
Do you want to be creative or do you want to be a booker? What would you want to be if you got into wrestling?
I'd be creative for sure.
Oh, you would? Okay. Retro Hoop Collectibles. Well, what's going on? Everyone losing viewers, Dan?
I don't know if they're losing viewers. I just feel like it's just copying. Everybody's just copying each other, and it's kind of boring. And you want to stand out from the pack. You know what I mean? If you're making content, you want to stand out from everybody else. So I think that's kind of like what it is. And I think people are just realizing.
Well, what happens if whatever you did works and then everybody's copying you, but instead of changing, why do you need to switch if what you're doing is working?
You have to, when it comes to content, this is what I've learned. I'm not an expert on this, but this is what I've learned over the last 3 years. And let me say this too. Before I got into the hobby content space, I was very private person on social media. I never made content about anything.
I can imagine.
Yeah. It's just like I learned this because I kind of had to be involved in the hobby.
Right.
But it has to constantly evolve. Okay. Look at this. Okay. look at how society consumes content. So if you can go back to how we used to do social media, it used to be word post, like tweets, post on Facebook, things like that, right? Words. We would write things out. Then TikTok comes in, and TikTok, or whatever it was before TikTok, Snapchat or whatever, make videos. Okay. And then they would make dancing videos. That's what it was. When you think of TikTok, you think of dancing initially.
Like all the dance challenges and stuff.
Yes. But then people switched from reading post to or looking at pictures to watching videos. That's where we are now. And that's where the algorithm tells us to go. Right. So now we went from doing videos, doing posts to doing videos, but then videos went from dancing to doing other things, talking, discussions, showing off things. And now we're going from, then we went from like short content to long form content, podcast and things like that. Right. Or longer videos on YouTube. And now we're going back to short form videos and things like that. So it all evolves. You know what I mean? It all evolves. In the hobby space, it went from showing a picture of your card to doing a video of your card, to doing a description video talking about your card, to to making funny skits, to doing all sorts of different things. So we have to kind of evolve to keep things fresh. Otherwise, again, it's easy to kind of fall behind to other type of content that comes out there and that's more entertaining. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do.
Could it get too complicated though?
Yeah, you could see guys that are spending money on production value. Like Mr. Beast is an example of content that is way too complicated, production value, way too high, too much money being spent. I could see that with Jeff Wilson's stuff. Very highly produced, great content, very polished, but it probably costs a lot of money to do all that. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
And I can see people getting more type of engagement from their posts from somebody like Jay Mojo, where he just kind of films himself. He can probably get more engagement than Jeff Wilson, who spends $10,000 to make a video or something.
With a huge production.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe that will change. You never know. It's always constantly evolving. And the best way to kind of understand that is to, I don't know if I want to give this secret away. I'll just do it.
What's the secret sauce?
I'm just going to whisper this. Because I don't know if anybody's listening. But the best way to kind of see and stay ahead of the curve within the hobby is to look outside the hobby. Look outside of the hobby to what other content people are making in other areas that are not in the hobby, and you'll see what works, and then you can adapt it. Okay, because the hobby is still behind everything else. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Papa Jim, the new content experience sounds cool. Thank you, bud. City by the Bay, #Road to Dan Mania. Carlos, great show, guys. Thanks, Carlos. Bam, bam. Renee, commenting on the taco card refractor. I told myself that collecting baseball cards are for fun and just collecting because the money I spend on these cards, I probably won't get it back. That is so true. Kenny G, sup, fellas? Big John Collector's Cards. Good to hear from you, John. What's up, fellas? What's up, John? Show Cards Club 33. Is that the Club 100 he's talking about?
At Disneyland, yeah.
33. Okay. Show Cards. It has a 15-year wait list. Dang. Yeah. 15-year wait list.
So you think that, okay, so 15 years to get on this wait list, $100,000 entry fee, annual fee, whatever that is, 25 grand. You think that outside of that club, how many people actually care that somebody is a member of that club? Like if let's just say, I don't know, Michael Rubin was a member of that club, right? Or let's just use somebody else. Let's just use Papa Jim. Let's just say Papa Jim is part of that club. Do you think many people, because I just see him right here, I'm not trying to pick on you. Jim. But you think anybody would really envy him to an extent to be that? Like most people wouldn't care because everybody's living their own life. You know what I mean? They might say, "Oh, that's cool, whatever," but we're not going to get jealous about it. We're not going to necessarily care. So only the people within that club actually care because to them, they can flex that status of being in that club and tell themselves that they are better than all the poors out there that are not part of that club.
When's the best time to drop this information to people?
What are you talking about?
Like when you tell people like, yeah. I'm in the 33 club.
Oh, you
are.
These people will probably tell people at every chance they get. Oh, hey, they're at a cocktail party with their friend. Oh, man, how was your weekend? Oh, it was great. I went down to Club 33, which I am a member of.
Stop.
Yes, and I had lunch there. I just go there casually because I am a member of that club.
I envy you.
Just like people that are fun. Every segment has some type of elite status that people love to flex, but outside of that community,
right,
everybody else doesn't care. Okay, there are people that like in the luxury watch space because I follow the
luxury watch space.
Yeah, there are people that say, "Oh, I have this rare Rolex. There's only like 13 of them in the world, and you have to be on a waiting list for 7 years to get it, and it's the rarest one, rarest dial." If you're a watch nerd, you might appreciate it, but most people outside of that will like, okay, who cares? Same thing with like fancy, what do you call that? Sports cars, right?
Right.
Like you have to be on a waiting list to get a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. And if you have one, you just flaunt it every chance you get. But outside of that, most people don't care, So like but this is what it is. People love to have a certain status that makes them
like
feel
every
better.
day, man.
Makes them feel better than everybody else, and that's just, it's just kind of like a fun, think of it like a collecting goal, there within the hobby, there are different statuses too. Like some people say, oh, I have a Mickey Mantle, card, or I have a card that's worth $100,000. It's a certain status that makes you feel better than everybody else. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is, but it's a fun way to kind of play on the things.
Mark the Collector. Too bad Jade won't have a Panini card. That's so true. Too late. So maybe a Topps. Donkeys. It's like being some of the first people who take the flight that takes them near the Earth's atmosphere. Oh, yeah. Oh, because, won the status. Show cards. Laughing out loud. It's a flex for sure. Both times I went was as a guest. Both were prominent. Orange County business people who were the members.
Oh, man. He's actually been there. But just as a guest.
See, to me, it's like when our friends take us to like the guest suites or whatever, the corporate suites at the ball games and stuff.
Yeah, it's a flex, right?
Yeah, and you get the hot dogs and hamburgers. They bring the dessert tray over, the little dessert.
And when you have that status, you want to flex it as much as you can. Like your friends who have that luxury suite, right? Hey, do you want to go to this game? Do you want to go to this concert? We have a suite,
Yes.
And then
be our guest.
And then you go in there and they feel like they can show off their status by hosting you, being part of it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other examples of this that people do, but like people who have like season tickets to the game, like courtside season tickets, a lot of those are owned by business people that just love to flex that so that they can entertain for business purposes or entertain their friends or whatever it is, they all have to like kind of flex in certain ways. And I think that you could create fun stuff like that within the hobby. The problem with a lot of these statuses is that a lot of it is unattainable for most people. So it's just not relatable. That's why most people just don't care. But if you did it in a fun way in the hobby where you could make it something that people could achieve, be feasible for people to achieve, then it could be a fun goal for people to try to attain. Like people that try to attain the 1,000,000-mile club or whatever, like a flight status, 1,000,000-mile club.
Oh, I think you said the Mile High Club.
A Mile High. That's a different type of status, but So like in the hobby, you could like if you buy 1,000 boxes or whatever it is, you can obtain a certain status too. So there's a lot of different ways that they can play with it. But I think
what was that movie with Clooney, Up in the Air?
Yeah, where he talks about the status part.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to get his goal throughout the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people can achieve different types of status in the hobby, and I think that would be a great way to promote the product by having different statuses that you can achieve.
Show cards again, great show, guys. I got a roll.
All right, so that's our last
note.
That is. Oh wait, we got one more.
Oh, donkeys. Okay.
Here you go.
Merch that has the years you've been in the hobby.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, like stripes, wear your stripes. Okay, so that is the last of our comments. Let's wrap it up. Merlin, I'll let you take care of everything here.
All right. Remember to check out Mr. Minty website. The links and his Instagrams down below. Get 25% off now if you use the promo code Curator. Like I said, it's down below in the descriptions. Go to Mr. Minty now while he still has it set at 25% off using the promo code Curator. Also, check us out every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're here every Tuesday between two slabs. Check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube at Merleworld Cards. I think I got like 6 the last day or something subscribers. So I could use more subscribers. I also have a new video I just put out today, and I'll have another one, believe it, tomorrow. I'm starting to get to work. I'm on a roll again. Dan's got me working. I'm on a roll. So check out my new video I just pulled off. Let's see if I tore it up or didn't tear it up. A photo that's could be worth $1,000. We don't know yet. But it's of Larry Bird, Michael Jordan. Check out that video, and then we'll have some videos about photos as well throughout the week. So hit that bell button. I forget what it's called. The bell button, and you'll be notified of more videos. Dan, your turn, buddy. The sick one here.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm just reading the last comments here.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just skip that here. Okay, yeah. So that's all it is, guys. I feel a little bit better because I've been exercising a little bit, but who knows, the cough might come back later. But I'll be
I forgot also check us out if you are in the car or whatever you're doing. We also have links to all the different podcasts. So I would love it if you could also listen to us again and again and again and again in the podcasts that are below in the descriptions as well.
Right.
And leave a comment. More importantly, please leave a comment. Be a little interactive like we've been talking about.
Right. Okay, so that wraps it up. Another show, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and thank you for hanging out with us. All the comments and all the likes and everything like that. Thank you, guys. We will see you next week.
Yo, listen. Top of the chain, so